Tyler from Aspire Sports, and I'm going to be talking about the Aaron Jones signing that happened last night and kind of the fantasy outlook for both Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Let's go ahead and get into it. If you like this content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Aaron Jones just signed a contract with the Green Bay Packers, 4 years, $48 million, $13 million signing bonus. Now, all the details for the contract have not been released yet, but if that's $13 million guaranteed money and that's all the guaranteed money he has, that's not a whole lot of guaranteed money. But I am surprised that they did sign him back and they didn't sign Jamal Williams. I thought they would go with Jamal Williams because he'd be cheaper and he can kind of be the 1B again to A.J. Dillon's 1A. Let's go ahead and talk about Aaron Jones and his fantasy outlook for the 2021 fantasy football season. So for Aaron Jones right now, I kind of expect him to fall into like his similar role that he's been in the past 2 seasons where he's playing right around the like 60% of the snaps. I do think he'll see an uptick in receiving yards or receiving opportunities. So receptions, receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, all that. But is going to possibly see a downtick in rushing attempts just because I think A.J. Dillon isn't really suited for the Jamal Williams role. In college, he only had 20 receptions in his 3 years in college. Last year, played 51 passing down snaps, only had 2 receptions. So we don't see a whole lot of receiving out of A.J. Dillon, and for that reason, I think he'll be more involved in the rushing game, where Aaron Jones is going to still see a decent amount of rushing attempts, I think right around 200, but might see more receiving attempts. The only real concern that I have for Aaron Jones is what's going to happen around the goal line. He's been very efficient. Number one, he's just efficient everywhere. Efficient as a receiver, efficient as a running back, efficient around the goal line. His whole career it doesn't need a whole lot of work to be efficient. It's just a very efficient player. Are we going to see a little bit of a downtick in his work around the goal line? Because some coaches fall into this trap where it's like, oh, I got a big running back. They got the hard on for this running back. He's a big guy. He's 240 pounds. He can just push it in the end zone. Oh, yeah. Somebody like Jordan Howard is a prime example. Oh, he's a bigger running back, but that doesn't mean he can get in the end zone. First and goal. So we'll see what happens in training camp. See what the kind of roles are there. I do think Aaron Jones right now have him as RB number 9. I like him right there. He's just an efficient player. He's not going to see a whole lot of work, but we'll see enough work to make him an RB number 9. If you like him higher, then go ahead and take him higher. It's just, who are you going to move him in front of? Jonathan Taylor? For me, I have Zeke ahead of Aaron Jones right now, just because Zeke last year was RB number 4 when Dak Prescott went down. So I still like Zeke more than him, so that's why Aaron Jones right now is RB number 9. And if you like him more, go for it. Well, let's go ahead and talk about A.J. Dillon. RIP A.J. Dillon season. If you're very big on him breaking out this year because there was no Jones, no Jamal Williams, well, not so fast, my friend. Here comes Aaron Jones back. Now we have A.J. Dillon, I would assume, is like the 1B in this offense to Aaron Jones 1A. So you're going to have him basically playing kind of like the Jamal Williams role. But the tough thing is we just haven't seen a whole lot of work out of him as a receiving back. Jamal Williams played on 40% of the snaps. So you're going to have him basically taking over the snaps. I'd imagine he's going to definitely take over the rushing attempts, which Jamal Williams last year, I think, had 118 rushing attempts. So I do think he's going to have a little bit more than that. Right now I have him projected for 130. You could possibly see more depending on how efficient he actually is going to be and how good he looks. So we'll see how that works out. It's just the passing down work. If he's not going to see a whole lot of passing down work, and especially doesn't see work around the goal line, then he's definitely not going to finish where Jamal Williams has the past 2 years, which was RB number 33 and RB number 38. I think he's going to finish outside the top 40. Now, if he's able to see some receiving down work and is able to see some work around the goal line, then he can definitely finish right around that RB number 30 range. So we'll see. Once again, I keep saying this, but we have to see what happens during camp. What is his role? For right now, I do think he's going to finish right around RB number 35 is where I would project him. So he could definitely finish inside the top 30 if he's going to see work around the goal line. Now, once again, he has standalone value, independent value, rather than just being a premium handcuff. But he's also has that very appealing handcuff value too, in the sense that last year when Aaron Jones didn't play in 2 games, Jamal Williams played over 80% of the snaps in those games. So does that mean that we could possibly have, say something happens to Aaron Jones, we could have A.J. Dillon playing over 80% of the snaps on a very good offense, which basically makes him a must-start RB number 1. I think that could possibly happen. Once again, going back to his receiving work. If he's not able to really hone in on that receiving work, or they don't trust him as a receiver, then I don't think that's going to happen where he's going to be playing 80% of the snaps, but could definitely be right around like 60, 70% of the snaps and see the work around the goal line. So I think he has independent value. There's definitely premium handcuff value there as well. For all those reasons, I would feel comfortable drafting him in like round number, I'd say like 7 of dynasty drafts, maybe early, like late 6, just because I don't think that they're completely sold on Aaron Jones. I don't think so. I think that the low signing bonus, if this is all of his guarantee money, is a low signing bonus to me is kind of a red flag. And I think that they hope, obviously they drafted A.J. Dillon higher too. They drafted him high. So I think there's hope there that A.J. Dillon could really break out this season. And for that reason, I would feel comfortable drafting him in like the 7th round of dynasty draft. So with that being said, if you have any questions as to where to draft these guys or trade, whatever the question may be, ask it in the comments below. I'll answer any questions you have. Thank you for watching the video and have a great day.